All right, welcome everybody to this week's Andy Mortgage webinar. My name is Carl Holman, the Communications Manager. Today's topic, we're going to be covering how to qualify for jumbo and prime jumbo loans. These are two of our more popular programs here at the company. So we put together a nice little presentation for you, and we'll just kind of run through the ground rules that we do each week. So we've got everyone's microphones muted. We ask you to reserve questions using the Q&A operations down at the bottom, and we'll do that. We'll answer questions towards the end as soon as we're through the formal part. Other than that, if you've been here before, you know the drill. So let me introduce our speaker, Bernie Hernandez. He's one of our top wholesale account executives, and he's very well versed in the jumbo product. So with that, I will hand it over to you, Bernie.
Thank you very much, man. Good afternoon, guys. Thank you very much for joining us on another one of our awesome webinars here regarding our products. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the Prime Jumbo, about A&D. Well, if you don't know already, we are one of the top wholesale non-QM lenders out there in the country. You know, we're pretty much second to none when it comes to underwriting and our product, different products that we can offer. And you can see also here we have an Imperial Fund, which is basically our hedge fund. This is where we do our bridge loans or pseudo hard money type stuff. So we do have a lot of availability for your financing here. You know, where you can see here that we're all over the country. We're licensed in a good bunch of states. You can see it on our rate sheets. If you ever have any questions for that, as far as what states we're licensed in with this particular product for Prime Jumbo, you do have to be licensed in the particular state that you want to get the loan done in. All right, so here you can see just a quick little stat here, which I think we're all seeing come to fruition. 2022, there's a lot more non-QM business that's expected and actually going on now, especially with the rate increases with conventional lending. I'm sure that you all can tell and have seen definitely the amount of applications coming in has gone down a bit. So we have the products in order to help keep your business strong and moving forward. All right, Prime Jumbo, this is what it's about. So essentially, you guys kind of know what a jumbo loan is about. It's anything that exceeds the Fannie Mae conforming limits. And just some highlights here regarding our product for these jumbo loans. We can go down to a credit score of down to 660. We can accommodate LTVs up to 89.9. We do all 15 and 30-year mortgages as well. We actually go up to $3 million. We'll have to do a manual underwrite for anything that's over $2 million. But we're basically running the product, or you're running the scenario through DU. And essentially, we're going to be looking for DU approved ineligible due to the loan amount exceeding the conforming limits. For anything that's over 80% LTV, there's no mortgage insurance required. It's going to be built into the product. We're really, as far as the findings that you get from DU, we're not going to have any overlays on the credit or the amount of trade lines and on the income documentation. So as long as the loan amount is $2 million or less and you're getting that DU approved and eligible, we're going to be using exactly for credit and income what DU is asking for. And kind of lets you know right there, this product specifically, this Prime Jumbo, is for really well qualified borrowers that are going to be exceeding that Fannie conventional limit and want the best rate out there in the market that can be afforded to them. All right, so as far as any recent updates to our Prime Jumbo product, we actually put our guidelines right on our website. You can see here a little screenshot of where you'll be able to find it. It's documents and forms, click guidelines. You're going to see the guidelines for basically all of our products, including that highlighted jumbo underwriting guidelines for the Prime Jumbo. All right, some of the benefits on it. Like we discussed, it's when it's going to exceed the conventional loan limits. Again, very cool thing. You can run pre-approvals in there with TBD addresses, and you'll be able to get the DU findings as long as they're coming out approved ineligible due to loan amounts or LTVs exceeding regular Fannie conforming stuff. Then we'll be able to take care of it. And as mentioned before, the loan terms, we go up to $3 million. 89.99 LTV, and there's no MI when LTV exceeds 80%. And here, just we threw in a couple of examples here for some loan scenarios as to what you can focus this product on, kind of specific things. In this one, where we have a couple that's purchasing a triplex as a primary residence. All right, one person's self-employed, the other one has W-2 income. Examples of what the FICO scores are. If you know Fannie Mae's guidelines, you'll know that for 3 and 4 unit properties, Fannie Mae only goes to 75% loan to value. On the prime jumbo product, we can actually go to 85% LTV. So it's a very cool thing to be able to not only exceed the conforming dollar amounts, but actually give you better loan terms as far as LTVs go and things like that. And just like in Fannie loans, rental income from the subject property in most cases can be used to offset that PITI. And that one's pretty much it. For the second loan scenario, this is another new unique feature for these prime jumbo products regarding refinances. So here's the scenario. We have Vera that's owned her primary residence for a few years and got a HELOC a little bit over a year ago to do some home improvement. Under normal Fannie guidelines, any kind of a second mortgage HELOC that's not a purchase money second will be considered a cash out refinance. But with this product, actually uses the old guidelines for that, where as long as it hasn't been drawn on for over a year, then we'll still consider it under rate and term LTV guidelines. So here you can see in this example, someone that has excellent credit and has a stable job, the DTI as well. Again, this program specifically is for really well qualified borrowers. She's going to be able to consolidate $425,000 first mortgage and $250,000 on her HELOC. And by the time she consolidates it with a new rate and term refinance, her fully indexed rate is her new rate's going to be much less than what those two combined rates would be on the balances that she owns. I think there's another slide actually for this particular scenario. And it kind of goes over exactly what I just explained to you, that once we are able to consolidate those two loans, which wouldn't be doable under Fannie Mae guidelines, not just for the loan amount, but again, because this would be considered a cash out refinance. So you're going to be dealing with lower loan to values as a Fannie Mae loan. You're under prime jumbo. We're able to take advantage of that specific guideline and allow a second mortgage or HELOC that is at least 1 year old to be paid off and still have the loan itself be considered a rate and term refinance. So needless to say, it's a pretty good option to have and something really nice that you'd be able to offer your clients when the scenario comes up. Here, just a little example regarding the matrices themselves. Just so you can have a quick glance, all of these things are available on our website. And actually, in a little bit, I'll see if I can do a screen share, show you where to find them. And you can see here that we can go to 89.9 with a 680 score when it's a purchase of a single family home, and even 2 to 4 units, we can go to 84.99% LTV also with a 680 score when you're purchasing it as a primary residence, which is a pretty cool deal. Cash outs, you can see you can cash out to 80% with a 680 score. So it's a lot of flexibility and a pretty high LTV with a low score that we're going to allow on this program. You see loan amounts can go up to $2 million even at that. So that's good. You can see there, as you look through the guidelines, you'll see different little things on here. You'll see the max DTI is 45%. In certain cases, and in others it might be 40. You'll see the cash in hand on refinances can't exceed a certain dollar amount under certain circumstances. So that's why we'll have these guidelines online for you to be able to refer to them anytime you have any questions. So here you can see the matrices for second homes and investment properties. You would notice once I get to show you our rate sheets for the prime jumbo that there's minimal add-ons for certain kind of things like second homes and things like that, and they are available for you. And we even do the investment properties, again, even to those high dollar amounts, $2 million DU approved and eligible, you'll be able to get your findings right off of that. Not sure what else is going on. Final thoughts on prime jumbo. Okay, we got to that pretty quickly. So when you're going to submit these loans to us, just make sure, like any other loan, it's the result you're going to get is as good as the information that you put in there. Got to make sure that we're dotting our I's, crossing our T's, and all of the employment information is on there correctly. Again, as far as the documentation goes, you're going to run AUS, whatever DU is letting us know that we need for that income. For example, just like you would get on a regular conforming loan, sometimes if somebody's been self-employed for a good amount of time and they have really good scores, DU will only ask you for the most recent year tax returns. We'll accept that as long as that's what the findings show. So it's really a good plus that we don't have these kinds of overlays on the income documentation. If there's any questions, of course, with any of this stuff, you can always refer to our website. I'll kind of see if I can do that screen share and show you where to get some of this information in a minute. And of course, reach out to your account executive if you ever have any questions. And I'm your AE, please reach out and I'll be happy to go over any of this stuff with you. Let me see if I can do that screen share real quick.
Sure.
And kind of go over a little bit. Okay. And I want to make sure prime jumbo rate. All right, so you guys should be seeing this prime jumbo full doc AUS rate sheet in front of you. All right, these we send these out every day. Actually, the way that you can get these rate sheets for yourself anytime, you would go to admortgage.com/rates, and here you'll have access to all of the rate sheets for our non-QM products, including the prime jumbo. You would just click on that, prime jumbo pops up, and here is where you will be able to see not only the rates, but also the matrices. So as you scroll down on this page, you'll see the matrix that lets you know how high we go, what's the credit score that you need for it. Some of these extra little guidelines down here, you can actually see what we need for reserves, depending on the loan amount, whether it's a cash out, number of units, all that good stuff. So we will need a specific amount of reserves. Either it's going to be the higher of this or whatever DU may ask for. So just keep that in mind when you're submitting for that prime jumbo product. When you're going to price out the rates on here, basically the way I do it, just go here to the loan level pricing adjustments, credit score, loan to value. You're going to know that a little bit ahead of time. So just for argument's sake, 780 scores, 25% down, you're going to take that plus 1/2. All right, or plus 1/8. Here's another 1/8 for a purchase. These are credits. And then let's say, for example, you're going to do a condo, you're going to take off another 1/8. We do condos, same rules as Fannie Mae, 75% LTV on primary for limited review, or for review condo if we go over that. Just take these add-ons, add them up to whatever they are, and then here you're going to have the actual rates themselves. So if all of these add-ons or adjustments come up to, let's say, 0.5 point in the minus, you're going to have to go to over 0.5 point in the plus. You'll see a par rate will end up being somewhere 5.375. You can mess around with this a little bit, see what the adjustments would be for any scenario you might have. 15, 30-year loans. Obviously, rates are a bit different than they were at the beginning of the year, but again, these are the most competitive rates that you can get for a prime jumbo product. As I had also mentioned, we have our rate sheets, not just the rate sheets, but we also have the guidelines online. And that's simply going to our website. You will go to resources, go to admortgage.com without logging in, resources, documents, and forms. And here it'll come up different things. At the end, you'll see guidelines, and you can click right into the jumbo underwriting guidelines. And then once you're in there, it'll look like this. You can see that these were recently updated. So anything on here this is exactly what our underwriters will underwrite off of. And you have certain questions regarding insurances, anything else. This is where you will be able to do it. You can do your control find. You can see that power of attorney might be used in some cases not. Any specific questions, call me, refer to the guidelines. We have a lot of avenues here for you to be able to get some questions answered. As a matter of fact, do you have any questions for me right now that I might be able to help out with, or any scenarios that you have questions on?
Go ahead and type your questions in the Q&A panel.
I'm going to remove the screen share, by the way.
Yeah, put the presentation back up. No questions?
Yeah, not sure of any questions. It is a pretty straightforward product. If you've been in the industry for a while or even a little bit, you know about running through things through AUS and getting those decisions. This is essentially just an extension of that, allowing you to go above the Fannie conforming limits, which, by the way, the Fannie Mae conforming limit right now for most of the states for a single family home is 647,200. And of course, it goes up from that depending on certain states, or if you're in a high balance area, or if you have more than one unit that you're trying to fund. If it's 2-unit property, 3 and 4, those conforming limits go up. This is what helps bridge that gap and keep the rates as well as they can be for your borrowers.
So Daniel's asking a question about current turn times.
All right, so our turn times, essentially, once the loan is submitted to us and disclosed, our underwriting turn time, we're getting the results back in about 24, 48 hours max. Generally, they do not go longer than that in underwriting. And once the loan is out of underwriting, then as far as when conditions are submitted and such, we're turning those around pretty quickly as well. It's taken about 24 hours. Again, it should not exceed 48 hours. So when it comes to this program or any of our non-QM stuff, those are our timeframes with underwriting. We're very quick turnaround. One of the cool things about us, if for whatever reason the loan does not fit into a prime jumbo product for whatever reason, we have the ability, obviously, to move that over into our regular non-QM jumbo product, which I'm sure you guys know. We have a lot of different options with that, the income documentation types and such, but one way or another, here at A&D, we'll get that loan closed, if it's coming into our doors.
Good question. There was another question, but I'll get to that and towards the end of the presentation. All right. Any more questions from the group? There you go.
All right, guys. Yeah, like I said, it is a pretty straightforward thing. A lot of the times when it comes to it, and when I do presentations, most of the questions I get are from specific scenarios that somebody might have regarding that they have kind of cooking. And obviously, there's always a lot of details to go over, certain kinds of things that might make a product eligible or ineligible for a particular loan type. So that's where a lot of times we might start thinking we'll be able to do it as a prime jumbo. And after we dig into it a little bit, we'd have to move that into a regular non-QM loan. A lot of the things that I personally do with my accounts, my brokers, I'd like taking care of things up front before they even get submitted. We'll go over the scenario. I do spend some extra time with them, making sure that only the right documentation is going to be submitted. There's no reason, if we're getting DU findings asking for only a pay stub and a W-2, that you're supplying me with 2 years tax returns. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to try to make the process as simple and efficient as possible for you. That's why we have products like these, so that you can get somebody a $2 million pre-approval within half an hour if you're able to run DU with valid information, and we'll see that all the way through closing for you.
There's a question from Rody here about, does the product work for commercial property investments? It looks like particularly for the hospitality industry.
Okay, this is for investment property, but this is not for commercial loans. This is strictly residential lending.
Okay.
Anything else? All right, man. I guess we can move forward a little bit. If somebody comes up with something before
yeah.
we sign off, I'll still be here.
Yep. All right. So I'll get to one of the other questions that people asked about in just a second. So we've kind of have made some advancements in a lot of our technology over the last 6 months. A couple of the examples are, we've added an easy to use quick pricer. Now you can't do the jumbo loans with the quick pricer, but if you have any non-QM scenarios, you can easily price them out with our quick pricer. We launched a centralized appraisal center So we have, I can't remember how many approved AMCs at this point, but it's well over a dozen. So you can pretty much get any appraisal in most states that you'd need, all managed through the one platform. The other is our 80 Studio, which is a marketing platform. It's reminiscent to Canva, if any of you have used that. But it's a web-based all-in-one platform. We did do a previous webinar on this if you need more in-depth information about it, and we'll be doing another one probably in June or July as well. As far as the, yeah, as I say, as far as the other upcoming webinars, well, we've already covered this one, but next week we're going to do correspondent lending. And then the week after, we will be doing investment loans. So for that person who had the question about the commercial investment one, that might be a good one you would want to attend. And so the question we get most frequently is about the recordings. So yes, every webinar that we have ever conducted, including this one, are recorded and available on the admortgage.com/learning center. We're usually able to get them edited and posted up within 24 hours, usually even by the close of business today. And then you'll also get an email tomorrow from the Zoom system if you've registered in advance with the link to the recordings as well. And if you want to stay engaged with us on a regular basis, we're on all the major social media platforms: Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube. We do have an Instagram, as well as we have something called 80 News Chat, which is you have to subscribe to a platform called Telegram that's similar to WhatsApp. So you can download Telegram from the Google Store, or sorry, from Google Play or the App Store, and just sign up for it at the 80mortgage_bot. And then there are a couple of user groups out on LinkedIn and Facebook that we are partial moderators of, called Non-QM Exchange. For those of you that are more heavily in the non-QM space. And that's a place where you could also go out and throw scenarios and get in touch with an AE. So other than that, that's everything that we've got to cover. Has anybody thought of any more questions? Otherwise, we can convene. There will be a brief 5-question survey when you guys log out. So if you guys could give us your feedback and give us many other additional topics of things that you might want to see in the future, we'll put together some webinars based off of that. This is one of those examples. Okay. We'll give it another 30 seconds, see if there's any more questions. Nope, doesn't look like it. Okay. Well, with that,
you guys don't be shy.
Yeah, I was gonna say, don't be shy.
For sure. I don't think they are.
Yeah,
but in any case, it really is a pleasure to be able to sit here and share some of the stuff with you. And I look forward to getting some prime jumbo loans in here to help you guys out with.
Yep. So thank you for taking time out of your day. I know it's a crazy time of the year, but we appreciate you taking time to be with us, and we'll be back again next week. I can't remember what we're talking about again next week, to talk about correspondent lending. So until then, have a great rest of your day, and we will see you next week.
Cool.
Bye.
Thanks, guys. Take care.